So here's our first problem. We have a cone, circular base, radius of 3 centimeters, and a height of 11. So the volume of a cone is just the volume of our cylinder. So if you can imagine, I'm going to try to draw this as best I can here. Imagine that cylinder. That's a horrible drawing. But if you imagine the cylinder with the same height and the same base, we just have to find the volume of this, which from our last lesson was pi r, which in this case is 3, cubed. And that'll give us this base times the height of 11 centimeters. But because it's a cone and not the cylinder anymore, we have to take that answer and divide by 3. All right, so pi r squared times the height divided by 3. All right, so just be careful your order of operations here. All this is multiplication and division except for this part, which is an exponent. So let's take care of that first. So let's do pi times 9 times 11 times 3. Now here's a trick that I'll show again and again. Since it's all multiplication division, it's all the same step, but since I already know pi is an irrational number, which is going to give us a big long decimal, I'm going to avoid it for last. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do 9 times 11, which is 99, and then divided by 3 next, which is 33, and then I'm going to leave pi for last. So that way I don't have to deal with that decimal until the very end. So all I did here was I skipped over pi. I did 9 times 11 divided by 3, which gave me the 33. And now I can do 33 times pi, which gives me approximately, let's change this to an approximation symbol, 103 point, I'm going to have to round it up, it was 67, so I'm going to round it off to 0.7 centimeters cubed. All right, so there it is. It's just the cylinder formula, but then you cap it off with this divide by 3 because we're looking at a cone and not a cylinder. All right, let's take a look at one more problem. All right, now don't be misled here. Even though this cone is upside down, we still consider this the base. Base is not necessarily synonymous with bottom. Okay, so in this case, the base we're looking at here is at the top, and it's that same circle. And then the height of our cone goes this way. All right, so let's take a look. Volume is equal to capital B base, which in this case would be pi times the radius squared. Be careful here. Notice they're labeling the diameter. So the radius isn't 8 inches. The radius is only half that, which would be 4 inches. So pi r squared, so 4 squared, times the height of our cone, which is 12. Okay, and because it is a cone, we have to divide by 3. What's on top would give us the volume of a cylinder. The cone is 1/3 that. All right, same as before. Make sure you do the exponent first. So 4 squared, which is 16. And then to make life easy, again, here's what I would do. 16 times 12 divided by 3, which gives us 64. So we get 64 pi. Now I can deal with that decimal. So I get 64 times pi. Oops, this should be an approximation symbol here. We get 201.06, which I'm just going to round up to 201.1 inches cubed. All right, so there's our formula and how we use it to find the volume of a cone. It's not much different from a cylinder. As long as you can remember the relationship between the two, it makes it a lot easier. That any cone is just 1/3 of its corresponding cylinder.